Los Angeles for a comedy. Jo Koy's new movie Easter Sunday had a lot of waterworks. The film was no ordinary job for the comedian and the rest of the cast. The magnitude of being on a mostly Filipino set led to happy cry fests, Koy said. We all just kind of like teared up and just celebrated together because it's like, okay, this is going to be one of many moments up here. Koy plays Joe Valencia, a comic and aspiring actor who goes home to the San Francisco Bay Area for the titular holiday. He attempts to bond with his teenage son while dealing with well-meaning but overbearing relatives. Finally, our stories, our faces are front and center on the big screen, said Carrere, 55, and known from movies like Wayne's World, True Lies and Lilo and Stitch. Jimmy O. Yang, Crazy Rich Asians, Love Hard, who has a cameo in Easter Sunday, also served as a producer. He thinks Hollywood claims that capable Asian actors are hard to find are just lazy excuses. Some of them, I wanted to call them and be like, hey, man, please keep going, okay? We just couldn't hire you for this job, but please keep going. He envisioned a mix of Ice Cube's Friday and the holiday flick It's a Wonderful Life. A producer too, Chang wrote it in 2020 during lockdown. He then turned to Steven Spielberg, whose Amblin Partners is co-producing. Within a few hours the legendary director read it and gave his approval, according to Chang. From that day to the first day we started shooting was something like 5.5 months. And that's like insanely fast, Chang said. A lot of that is how enthusiastic everyone was about building a movie around Joe. But Koy is the one leaning into his heritage in his work. For example, he wanted a scene in Easter Sunday showing the family packing customary balikbayan boxes. Filipinos, usually first-generation immigrants, typically send boxes with American goods to relatives in the Philippines. Mailing balikbayan boxes is practically its own industry. There's this responsibility that they put on their shoulders when they make it to this country, Koy said. I see that with a lot of Filipino families, and I wanted to show the world that's how important this is to us. This year, a 30-foot, 9-meter-tall gateway arch was unveiled in Los Angeles' historic Filipino town, and a street in New York City's Queens was co-named Little Manila Avenue. A newly built Bay Area park was named for striking Filipino-American farm workers. For years, Filipino food has been hailed off and on as the next culinary trend. It seems to be having a moment again in the fine dining world. Easter Easter Sunday is coming during this really amazing moment in Asian American history and Filipino American history, where political, social, and economic capital has all come together, said Eric Pito, an Asian American Studies professor at San Francisco State University with a background in Filipino American Studies. He predicts younger generations will raise Filipinos' profiles in the next few years. "I think Filipino Americans are no longer shying away from sort of taking a representational role in American politics, which will bring up all sorts of interesting things about Filipino American culture that lots of folks just don't think about," Pito said. Last month, Choi and Chang attended a screening of Easter Sunday in Daly City. But a white film reviewer called the animated feature exhausting and only relatable for his Chinese family and friends. The review was later pulled over accusations of racism. The idea that stories that focus on Asian ethnicities and cultures are too specific to be appealing is just outdated, Choi said. "The relationship between a mother and son is the same, no matter what ethnicity," Choi said. "I hate ignorant people that don't move forward. There's a lot of people that live in this country that need to be heard, and it's time to hear it." Terry Tang is a member of the Associated Press's Race and Ethnicity team. Follow her on Twitter at https://twitter.com/tang.